Hey there, this is Tom from NYCREPhoto.com, and I'm going to show you something that I think is really cool that I think you guys are going to love. You see this picture of my big fat head here on the lower left-hand part of the screen? This is not something I'm adding to the video. This is actually part of this 360 3D virtual walkthrough here. And there's a lot of cool features in this that I'm going to walk you through. But I thought this was really neat and could be really valuable for some of your listings, especially some of the higher end ones. I have a few different 3D 360 options. This by far is the coolest and I get the best quality with. I'll walk you through some of the different features of it right now. First, some of the basics about why I like this so much better than the other thing. I use the same camera for all my different 3D tour options. The Ricoh Theta Z1, which I think is the best camera out there. It's the top of the line Ricoh 3D camera. I can get pretty close to the quality I get with my normal camera in the 360 tours that I could get with this. I could do certain things I do with my other camera. I could take multiple exposures, do like an HDR things, or even manual blending. I could get the windows in nicer. It's not going to be as good as the camera, and if you're looking at this online, the video is going to reduce the quality. So I'm going to have a link in the description so you can actually check out the tour yourself and see what it really looks like. It's going to look better than it does in the video. You're still going to need the photos because that's the first thing people are going to see when they're browsing through listings, and you want the photos to wow them and look at the 3D tour and really get them hooked on the property. With this, I could get better colors. I could get rid of color casts, make the rooms look bright like they do. I could get window details, basically all the stuff you love about my normal photos. I can do a lot of it here. It's not gonna, like I said, it's not gonna be as good, but it's gonna be a lot better than some of the other options out there that automatically have the software try to get the best image, and it doesn't really work that well in some situations. This is going to give you the best quality of photos, and there's some really cool features besides just this little video meeting window right here. So let's have a look at what you'll see here. So you'll see everything's nice and bright. We have a lot of good details here. Let's get closer to the windows right here. And you can see there's a lot of detail in the windows. If we actually go up to one of the windows, you can see pretty decent views. And if we turn around into the bedroom, now this is a room that had a lot of big windows and bright lights, so this is a little easier to do. But you see we have nice bright rooms, and we can see details in the windows. And you don't always see that. And especially with the automated HDR stuff, it just doesn't look as good in my opinion. You get more color cast. Some other features, if we click up to the top left, we could see a floor plan that shows all the different hotspots, and you could click there. It shows the furniture. It's a little small additional charge to get the floor plan in the 3D virtual tour, but you will save compared to having me measure and draw the floor plan. This is not going to be as accurate as my floor plans, but it gets pretty close. It's like, I don't know, it could be off by a few inches. I wouldn't use it to calculate the cost or anything like that based on square footage, but it just gives you a little bit of information on the layout of the apartment. And this can be included in the 3D tour. And if you don't need the accuracy of me actually measuring it and you're already paying for the 3D tour, then this is a way to save a little bit of money. And this is what you'll see when you enter the tour. And there's no branding on this right now, but there are two different options that have branding, and it'll have your name, your number, your contact info on here. And there are ways to contact you through the more info screen. But if we click on the top left here, where it says click to engage, that's where we'll get this little icon here that'll pull up the map, and you can make this bigger or smaller. If you see my head here now too, and you can see where I'm standing in the room, and if there are other people watching this 3D tour at the same time, same thing will happen. You'll see where they are. We'll get into some of those more details in a little bit, but let me just close this down. Now we have some more options over here. So you could take measurements. This isn't going to be, this is going to depend how accurate the floor plan is. If the floor plan winds up being accurate, this will be more accurate, so people can measure. So it's like, hey, I have a table I want here, can I measure it and see how it'll fit? And it's like, hey, yeah, it'll fit. Obviously they should take measurements in person to make sure. I do my best to try to get the camera set up in a way where the floor plans will be accurate, but I don't really have a lot of control there, and without actually measuring it, it's a little hard to tell. So let me just delete this. Anyway, there's just cool little features. Close this down. You could take screenshots, but let's get into the video meeting feature. So if you click on this icon here, which is a group of 3 different avatars, it'll bring you up to this window here, the icon there. Set up your name by clicking on these dots. My profile, okay. So we want to start a video meeting with a prospective renter or buyer. We'll go up here to create a private meeting. That's going to bring up this dialog box, and it gives you two options. Start with chat, where you just type with the other person, or start with video. If we click on start with video, it's going to try and find our devices, find the webcam, find my microphone, and you could go change your different options here and click on start. It's going to take a few seconds for the video to pop up, but there it is. Here I am in the bottom corner. Next thing to do is click on this button here that has a little person with a plus sign. And if they're already viewing the virtual tour and you see them in here, you can invite them. But probably the easiest thing to do is copy the meeting URL. Or you could give them, like I said, if you give them the virtual tour beforehand and they're watching it, you know they're watching it, and they tell you, I'm guest 505, then you can invite them that way. Or you can just copy that URL by going copying a meeting URL, copies it to the clipboard, and then you could email it to them, you could text it to them, you could, whatever chat software, messaging software you use to send it to them, WhatsApp, Facebook, there's hundreds of different options. You send it to them, and then you wait for them to join. It'll ask you when they're trying to join if you want to let them in or not, and then you say yes or no, and obviously you're going to say yes if it's them. There's some cool things that happen when they join the room. Just like you see my face up here, you can see them in different parts of the listing. You can see where they're standing on which hotspot. So you could go to where they are. But a neater feature is you'll have a list of all the guests in the room over here on the right. And just like you click on the three dots here, if you click on the three dots on their name, it'll give you the option of following them. So you can see exactly what they're seeing, and then you can make comments in real time about what they're seeing. If they have video enabled, you'll see a video of them. You can mute, you can turn off your video, and they can do the same thing, just like all video software. We're all pretty used to how video software works these days. You can invite more people. I'm not sure if they can invite more people, but the neat thing is this is a private meeting. So if there are other people touring the listing virtually, like they clicked on a link on one of the listing sites, they're not going to be part of the meeting. I mean, it's on the internet. Use whatever caution you take when communicating on the internet. This isn't, top level security clearance encryption or anything. So just keep that in mind. But whatever you normally talk about, you can talk about, and other people watching the tour aren't going to see you talking with whoever you're looking at it. And you can make comments as you see what they're looking at. And that's pretty neat. And like I said, this is a pretty cool option for people, especially people out of state. You can close this down and get a more direct view, close the floor plan. So you're basically having a Zoom meeting with somebody online while you're watching a 3D tour. Now, this doesn't require any special software on their end or on your end. This is all browser based. You could do this on your desktop. You could even do this on your phone. Use the video camera on your phone and the microphone on your phone to do this. I tested that out. Works great. If the big thing you want is the tour and the chance to video chat with somebody right inside the listing, this is a neat option. For a limited period of time, I'm going to have a special on these. If you're an existing client, you know how to reach me, text me or call me. It doesn't take too much longer to do. If you're a new client, send me an email, tom@nycrephoto.com, or use my website to get in touch with me and give me the details on your listing, when you'd like to have it done, and what you're looking for, and we'll work from there. I think this is neat. If you like it, definitely give it a try. And this is not just something you may want to try just because you have an apartment you think you'll get a lot of remote visitors to. Maybe you just want to do this so you could say, hey, your next person who comes to you and says, I'm looking for someone to list my property. What can you offer me that other people don't? What makes you special? And there's a lot of stuff that makes you guys special, that you do a lot of hard work. This is something I can offer you that you can offer your clients, so you could get some of the listings you may not otherwise get, because you can offer something that's really going to impress them, and it's really going to help get them more attention on their listing. Because, you guys know the statistic, 3D tours, they do get more views. People spend more time on it. It makes more of an impression. They tend to close faster. That's what I read. I don't do I don't get the data myself, but there's a reason these things have become popular, and they've become a little more popular, especially with everything going on with COVID and with people moving back into the city from, especially for people who move back home out of state. This is going to help them find the place without having to make multiple trips back into the city. And it could be a big determinant whether someone goes with you for their listing or with somebody else. All right, guys, take care. Hope you like this.